Hey everybody, my name is Rory, and I am from the Cube CX team, and we're gonna do this little guy here on getting started with embedded analytics. Some quick notes: you can ask your questions in real time. There's also a Q&A section at the end. There will be a recording available of this afterwards on demand, and please, any feedback you have, let us know. So what we're going to do today is do a little short snippet about Cube, do a quick getting started, how to make a cube from scratch, and then look into chart prototyping, which will help you jumpstart your embedded analytics. So as you can see here, the modern data stack can be complex and messy, and you can see that it's very often that you have many disparate tools and siloed, knowledge, and data modeling can happen and business definitions in multiple places. What Cube does is it takes up to multiple, data sources, and it allows you to do all your data modeling in one place and become that sort of single source of truth. Sorry, my screen's a little small. One second, guys. It helps with access control, so you can do things with our security context and to really hone in on some row-level security as well as other security measures. We have caching. The Cube has a caching layer, and one of our great offers is our pre-aggregations, which really help you speed up your queries and save you money. And of course, what's the good of all this if you can't connect to either your BI tools, multiple BI tools, or do something fun like embedded analytics? So like I said, we can unify here, create that single source of truth where Cube is the one place you can do all your data modeling. You can really enforce security here, and we can optimize with that pre-aggregation and caching layer. And we're going to do getting started now with embedded analytics. So I will show you how to make a cube from scratch first. So we're going to create a new cube cloud deployment. And we're going to just pick this region is fine. We're going to create a new deployment from scratch. I'm going to use a Snowflake deployment, and I will put my credentials in here. All right, click apply. And now Cube has this data model wizard that is going to go to the database. And we're going to pick this ecom schema here. And we're going to pick these tables. And now Cube is smart, and it's going to read those tables and spit out a data model for us. As you can see, we have these dimensions. Everything's looking good. Cube is smart enough, if the names are pretty obvious, to find the primary key. It's also smart enough to detect the joins, make a small adjustment. Everything looks good. And then we can review. All right. Now Cube is spinning up our data model. All right, looks good to go. And just taking a look, everything's looking good. These are our cubes, and it looks good. Go to the playground and run a query, see how it goes. All right, we're gonna see the count of orders by status for this ecom database. Gonna enter dev mode so we can edit and play with the data model. We're just gonna add a view, so we're gonna take this view here from the documentation for getting started, and we're gonna rename this file here, which is a test view or an example view file that is generated automatically. And it should be good. All right, and then we're gonna paste in from the docs. Go to the playground. Now that the build is done, we can run that same query from the view. All right, looks good. We will push and commit this change. Waiting for the build to finish. All right, looks like the view is available now. Awesome, and the build is done. And here we can show you the chart prototyping. Download the source and the config. You can see this code here. This is going to be its own little standalone app that you can get from running a query in the playground and then immediately pivoting it to this little standalone app. Gonna open the download folder, or first actually Visual Studio Code. and the download folder here. I'm gonna unzip this. Okay, and then we're gonna go and open it up here. We're going to need to move this environment variable file into the structure. And remember to name it .env so that it works. All right, we'll get a new terminal. All right, and we'll do npm I to get the dependencies. And then we will build it. And then we will preview it. And here it is. So it's its own little standalone query, a little dashboard from the same query that we ran in the playground. And now I can show you how easy it is to kind of start playing with this. We'll add a new file. And for now, we'll just add a static query to this new file here. Make a little function. Then we will run to the app file and import and find where it is in the code and use our imported new function. Here we go. All right, we'll close out the app. We will build again. All right, and do another preview. And it's the same query. So you can see it's still working. And now we can change the query to something else. And we get an error because there is no orders age. That makes sense. There is user's age. So let me fix that real quick. All right, rebuild and launch the preview. And there you go, count of orders by age. Bring up a, let's see. Let's bring up a new window. And we can show you another application, somewhere you can aim to get to. We're going to enter dev mode again, and we're going to set all of these cubes to public false, which will stop the cubes from being visible to the end user through the API. All right, we will commit and push these changes. I'll take the API here for the REST API. That's going to be what you use to send a query from your dashboard app to Cube. All right, and while the build is still going on, we can grab this token here. All right, looks like the build is done. All right, let's run the app. Well, it looks like I have an old thing here, so just get rid of this. All right, so as you see here, it looks a lot like the playground. You can have your users build their own queries, and if you can see, it's only looking for the orders view. It's not being exposed to any of the underlying cubes. Run the famous query, and we can add this to our dashboard. You can see here we can have either something where you build your own dashboards, or a user can build their own, depending on how you program it. Actually, it looks frozen. Let's just refresh this. All right. Let's do a different visualization. Add this to the dashboard as well. And here you go. Now something else we can do under dev mode again is to add some security, some more security than just the public false cubes. Here we'll add some security context. We'll take this from the docs. Paste it right in. I think we need to make a few changes to make sure it's working with our code. All right, I'll commit and push the changes. Check out my security context. I already have something in there, so let's try that. And success. We have user 1 for user 1. Let's try user 5. Add some more fields. Looking good. As you see, with no security context, it is not working, which is what we want. And so let's make sure everything is good. Pushed. All right, and then we'll take the secret here and we'll make ourselves a token to test in the app, the dashboard app. Just gotta change something to user ID, get rid of these. All right, looks good. So we can go ahead and pop that into the dashboard application code. Build's still going on. All right, looks good. Let's run the app. Actually, you see here, the user 5, which we looked at before, is only in New York, and they have 16 packages. Or orders, I should say. And you can see here still, it's only going to return from the view and only rows, that go with user number 5 here. And that looks like it. Okay, so what about using other charting libraries? I see. Yes, so that is something that I think that the devs are planning on introducing more charting libraries. So at this point, for the standalone app, you're just going to have that one option for the chart prototyping, but eventually there will be more. And if you want to use more in your own, code, that's up to you. All right, give it a few more minutes. All right, I think that, someone raised their hand. Oh, what's up, bud?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking the time. I was just asking more broadly around, instead of using the methodology that you just showed, are we
Mhm.
able to connect via an API, and then we could use a third-party charting library on our side?
Yeah, I believe that would be 100% possible. Yes.
Cool. And so then there's just documentation on the Cube side around leveraging the API.
100%. Yep. Just the cube
Awesome.
dots are always being fleshed out more and more, but there should be some useful information there.
Cool. Cool. And big picture, the theory there is that we'd be able to create, similar to how you just did, some sort of a query based off of the Cube language, and then we'll pull that data into the app, and then we visualize it however we wanted.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And you can do anything from building a completely standalone app to popping it in your own app.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, we're getting ready to stand up BigQuery and want to layer on a lot of analytics, a lot of which would be pre-built, but the ability for some of the self-serve, like you just showed, is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, it's a real awesome feature. And again, the chart prototyping is a great way to start right away. And then again, if you're a better React programmer than me, you'll have a much easier time.
Awesome. And sorry, I don't want to maximize your time, but would it be accurate in saying that probably one of the biggest pieces is doing all the model side? So if we had a ton of different, so we're working on like a multi-tenancy app, so building out all of the models first, that's probably going to be a big lift. But once that's in place, then actually doing the querying and stuff, you guys have a lot of the good infrastructure ready.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
And again, like a great place to do all that modeling, especially in definitely with a multi-tenant situation, is in Cube itself. So it could be advantageous to try it that way.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. All right. It looks like that might be it. I'll just give it another minute just in case. And then I think we are good to go. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Have a lovely day.